This is not a hobby. This is not charity work. It is running a restaurant, and it's a lot of work, and it needs to be masterfully done to do it successfully. Today, I get to answer Sarah's question, who's asking me to give her some tips about how to run a successful restaurant business. Hello, everybody. This is Making Dough Show. We talk about making dough in the restaurant business. My name is Hengam, and my husband and I, we own 6 restaurants here in the San Antonio area in Texas. And let's talk about it. This is an ongoing process. We've been in business just for 8 years. And again, we have 6 stores. And I'm going to share with you 5 top tips. These will be applicable to you whether you're looking into opening a restaurant and you're not in the business yet, you're interested in that and you're learning. If you have 1 location, if you have 5 locations, it doesn't matter. These principles are always the same, and you need to make it a priority in your busy days as you are running your restaurants. You need to make it a priority every week. It needs to be on your calendar that you dedicate time to these things that are going to make a restaurant a success. First and foremost, you need to know your numbers. I started by telling you this is not charity work. There is money. I tell our staff this all the time. We don't give people monopoly money, okay? There's a lot of money that we pay our food vendors. We pay a lot of money to our payroll company to process payroll, and obviously the staff. A lot of money. You need to know your numbers. This is what we do. Business is math. You cannot avoid it. I remember vividly in the beginning of our restaurants, number 1, I hated looking at our bank account. Obviously, it wasn't telling me good news, you know. I did not want to know where we're at with different stuff. I avoided it. And maybe you're in that place as well. I get it. But business is math. And to measure how we are doing, how we're performing, and our role and our hat as restaurant owners or even as a restaurant manager, the first solid, objective, non-negotiable data is piece of information you have is the numbers you have, your P&L, your profit and loss statement. You need to maybe invest in a bookkeeper if you're not great at it. Yes, I said invest, because maybe they help you just a few hours just to finish it up. Maybe they charge you hourly usually. And at this, last time I checked, they charge about maybe $50 an hour or something, depending on where you are and the time you're watching this and what have you. It's going to be an investment. Maybe you can figure out how to lower the load for the bookkeeper so they're not spending as many hours. But you are going to need help, because the skill set to be good at your bookkeeping is a different skill set than everything else in the restaurant. And if you're not doing well with your numbers and your restaurant is not profitable, your first priority is to fix that. So you need to know where you need to be and where you are now, and how are you going to close that gap between cutting costs aggressively and everything in between. Numbers, know your numbers. Business is math. Tip number 2 I have for you is this: to have a restaurant that is successful, you need to make it your top priority to grow sales. This is what we do. We feed people. The more people we feed, the better it is for the business. That is a top priority. Every week, you need to have a block of time on the calendar. For years, I did this Marketing Monday. First thing I would come in on a Monday, for me, it was looking at our sales last week. What did we sell? What did we not sell? If we had a deal, how's that doing comparing to the last time we ran it? What are we going to do to grow our sales? Who can I contact? Who can I partner with? Where are we going to do food drops? Where are my Facebook ads at? You know, what marketing, email marketing, what text is going out. I cannot stress this enough. I do believe you need to get good at it. It's something you may not be great at, and you can certainly outsource aspects of your marketing. Maybe you're not great at Facebook ads. You're going to get somebody to run your Facebook ads. They're not going to do as good of a job if you do not provide the strategy. The strategy needs to come from the business owner. You're on the ground. You know who your customers are better than some marketing agency, marketing firm, I don't know, wherever else they're at. You know that who you serve. You know what's going to work in your town. You know that, oh, there's going to be a high school football game coming up next week, and what you need to do about it. Get over it and get good at this aspect of the business. Growing sales is a top priority. You have good sales, friend, everything else will work itself out. I've told you this many times on the show here, is that my husband and I, we used to like go to bed and you get like needles, you know, feeling needles in your feet. You've been on your feet 12 hours. Maybe you were cussed at the first few years in the business. You get cussed at by a customer. 3 people did not show up to their shift. It was madness. But you go to bed and you can high five your spouse and say, you know what? But at least we had great sales. You know, like that feeling, you can't, I mean, it's probably one of the greatest feelings in the world. Sales, 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 marketing, 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 top priority forever. Okay, your team is going to be your most valuable asset. It's going to be the cause of majority of your pain, and equally on the other side of the coin, if you figure out how to put the right team together, and that is a $10 million question here, to put the right team together. And this is going to be a living and breathing thing, because you're going to have players that are part of your team, they're not part of your team. Being able to communicate, have those rhythms of meetings with your staff, coaching them, and delegating properly, raising leaders within your team is going to be the ticket to everything. That's going to be your ticket to freedom, to have a life in this industry, and it's going to be your ticket to be able to expand your business and expand your reach and have multiple restaurants if that is part of your vision. You need to be reading management books. You need to be reading leadership books, how to talk to people, how to coach people. I mean, at the house, we have dozens and dozens of books, and we are still learning, you know, the human beings. Make it a priority to meet with your team every single week. You will not have the time. You make the time to meet with the team, figure out how they're doing. How are you going to coach them? How are you going to take them to the next level? How are you going to grow sales so you can pay them better, so they stick with you? Get them to be part of the team that are going to help you grow the sales. So all of that is a key component of having a successful restaurant. The next tip I have for you when it comes to having a successful restaurant is this. You need systems in place. You need ways of doing things that are always the same at the restaurant, whether you're there or you're not there. You do not, all this saying I hear when the cat is away, the mice play, is because we have no systems in place. And we have no systems to manage those systems, especially remotely in place. When I can check cameras, when I can check labor percentage, when I can check our refunds, when I can check everything remotely, I can check our schedule, I can check so much you and I can manage remotely. It's crazy. You can have checklists that you can manage remotely to see if they're getting done. Systems in the business is going to be your other key to freedom, and running a professional business. No business is professional if you don't have systems. Look around. Any business, any restaurant that's successful, that's how they do it. So you and I need to get on board with that and get over it and figure it out. I always recommend, which is what we did, figure out what's causing the most pain in your business. It could be the schedule. People call in sick. Oh, they tell you verbally, oh, I'm going to be gone this week. I thought I told you that I'm not going to be able to go. You need a system to manage your schedule. If that is going to cause you the most pain, which is going to lead me to the fifth and last tip here. You need software. As I'm recording this, it's 2022. Talking about the schedule, utilize software, automation. There's so many things that are involved with that is going to lower your burden. That's going to make your life much easier, so you can focus on the team, so you can focus on growing your sales. Talking about the schedule. If it's, for example, we use like 7 shifts, there's hot schedules, all of them have very similar functionalities and they're all good. For example, in our case, if it's not in 7 shifts, it didn't exist. So you want off request, it needs to be there, it needs to get approved by a manager, and you need to enforce it. People are going to come telling you verbally. You need to lead by example and enforce the systems in your company. No, you need to submit it. This conversation, I will not remember. Submit it via this. Send me an email about that. Get that to me in a written format. Whatever, incident reports. No, I need that in writing. Verbally, they tell you so-and-so fell and this happened. No, I need it in writing. Everything in writing. You know what I mean? The 5th tip, again, as I mentioned, is utilizing software. We use software for a lot of things, whether it's the email marketing aspect, is the social media. We schedule our posts. We batch create things. So much that you and I, we are learning to utilize software and automation to run successful businesses. There's a lot of resources out there for that. There are a lot of software that are to lower the burden for restaurant owners. I don't recommend them all, and I don't think you should have them if it's not really have the return on the investment for you. So you are the only one who can discern what's best for you. no harm in testing something. Don't get involved in a contract. Say, I want a 30-day trial. Try it to see if it is going to save you time. Is it going to save you money? Is it going to lower your headache of a burden, needing to tell people all the time what to do? Then assess to see if it's a good investment, $50 a month, $100 a month, to add a software to your realm that's going to lower your burden and again, help you run a more successful restaurant. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Making Dough Show. Now I have a question for you. Do you have a tip for Sarah if you're in this industry to run a successful business? If you're watching this on YouTube, please comment below and let us all know. I will be reading all the comments as well. And if it's on the podcast, leave us a review, people. If you can, it would mean the world, as I'm trying to make time in between the 4 little kids that we have, as well as running 6 restaurants. I mean, I don't run it. I mean, it's a village, of course, a team that are behind, but I'm trying to make time for you to record these episodes. It would mean the world if you leave us a review. And with that, let's get back to work and make some dough. Thank you. Bye-bye.